Hello, my friends. My name is Erezi, and I help individuals with the tools, tips, and strategies that empower them to be more resilient. I'm really excited because I know this will be of value to someone that's watching. Today, we will be talking about how to deal with fear. You'd agree with me that there's so much fear in the air right now. People are feeling anxious because of that, and we have a lot of that now. In fact, it's so thick in the air right now, you can almost cut it with a knife. People are literally afraid of losing jobs, fear of losing people they love, fear of losing money, losing your business, or the fear that they're not good enough. I know that it's a real thing. I know people who got infected with COVID-19. I know people who lost their jobs, and some who lost loved ones. I even had an uncle who contracted the disease, COVID-19, who was on life support. So I know what it is to feel fear. But first off, I want you to know that the capacity to be afraid is part of a normal brain function. I just wanted you to know that. Today, we want to talk about 4 strategies that can help you deal with fear. But first off, let's talk about some of the causes of fear. Number 1, excessive thinking can cause your mind to create thoughts of fear. Emotions are a product of our thought life. When you get consumed with a thought and you keep ruminating over something you're not certain about, something that could either turn out good or bad, your mind begins to create a bunch of what ifs. We begin to imagine the worst case scenarios, whether real or imagined. If you can think it, you can feel it. That is why you can sit down and think about a sad event that happened in the past and suddenly begin to feel sad. So start noticing when you are thinking excessively about an uncertainty. It will help you juggle your mind. It will help you see that that's where fear starts from. The second thing that causes fear is sometimes not just even anything you're currently thinking, but negative information that you have taken into your subconscious mind in the past that starts to rise and cause fear. The third thing is when you feel like you're not in control of the outcomes of your life. The natural response when you have uncertainties is when you have uncertainties in your life, the natural response is fear. I'll also outline 3 things that fear will do to you so you can really understand the negativity that fear brings. 1, fear will compromise your immune system. Your body will not be able to fight off diseases like it was designed to do normally. Your immune system begins to lose its ability to protect you and regain balance. The second thing that fear will do to you is it will stop you from doing the things that you know you should do to achieve success. I know that there are things right now that you know you should be doing, but you're not doing any one of those things, and the only reason you're not doing them is because you're afraid. Don't worry, I've been in that position. You're not alone. The third thing is when you get stuck in analysis paralysis. Fear can get you stuck in analysis paralysis, as one of my mentors likes to say. You keep over-analyzing and never really get anything done. That's what fear can do to you. But right now, I want to share with you 4 tips on how you can deal with fear starting right now. One of them is change your focus. I heard someone say this one day. I don't remember who it was, but I felt like it sounded really good. You don't experience life. You experience what you focus on in life. Take a moment and think about that. Think about what you have been focusing on. Someone said, where your focus goes, energy flows. What you focus on expands. It becomes bigger, it becomes clearer, and the new dimensions of it opens to you. If I choose to focus on the camera right now, I'll hardly be affected by anything outside of my focus, because focus creates blindness. So today, I'm recommending that you change what you focus on and start giving more attention to the things that you're grateful for, the things that you're proud of, or the things that you're working on. The things that are working for you right now, the things that you're good at, or the things you can control. When you focus on these types of things, they cause your body to spark off a different set of emotions, and you suddenly begin to feel some level of courage instead of fear. The second thing that I'll recommend today is avoid the triggers. I want you to know that there are thought processes that trigger the feeling of fear. So the first thing you want to do is to identify those triggers. When you do that, you avoid the ones that have control, you have control over, and you adapt when you cannot take yourself away from that environment. Now, the part of adaptation is a different subject. We'll talk about that on a different time, on a different day, on a different episode. But today, I encourage you to avoid people, news, conversations, social media videos with just one perspective that lacks a holistic view of a matter. Exposure to the news most times primes you, and you dump all these negative news in your subconscious mind. You find that after a while, you're not thinking your own thoughts anymore, but thoughts that have come about as a result of negative priming. The third thing that I recommend today is change your perspective. How you see a thing will determine your reaction. Your interpretation of what you see really determines your response. So if you've ever used a virtual reality game device, you will have noticed that when you put the device over your eyes, it changes what you see. I'm sure you've heard the saying, perception is reality, which means that you have a mental impression of something, and how that picture defines how you see that thing, regardless of what is truly happening around you. I've seen people use that game, and you could literally see them fighting off things that don't even exist in reality. But they're reacting based on where they think they are. Little wonder it's called virtual reality. In the same manner, I want you to know that there are people who interpret their experiences in life from that lens. All they see is chaos. All they see is chaos and no good. But it's possible to make the shift in perspective and begin to interpret life from a different lens. Look, I want you to know something. Your ability to handle fearful thoughts, it's hinged on your ability to change the lens with which you see life. So change your perspective. It's possible to do that. The fourth thing that I want to recommend today is bring God in through prayer. I'm a firm believer in the potency of prayer. I believe that God is interested in how we feel. We do not serve a God who's not touched by the feeling of our infirmity. So I'll tell you some of the things that can happen when you take your fears to God in prayer. When you take your emotions to God in prayer, you'll be able to move past fear. You also get equipped with the power to cast down imaginations and thoughts of fear when they come up. You'll be equipped with the power to put those fearful thoughts down. Secondly, you also become saturated with God's thoughts, and you can begin to see clearly from God's perspective. When you spend time praying, God speaks His word, and His word always brings comfort and peace. What He tells you will help you see from a different perspective, and that can bring a lot of calm into your life and not fearful thoughts. Now, those are the 4 tips that I have for you to deal with fear, and you can start implementing them right now. Now, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear which one of these tips are working for you and which one is not. Listen, more than anything, I would want to keep creating content that adds value and helps you develop. So let me know in the comment section if there's anything different that you're doing to help you deal with fear. And please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and subscribe by clicking on the notification button. On the bell button rather, so that you get a notification every time I drop a new content.